I'll just leave this here for now. So yeah, pretty much, Ali, I pay attention to the platform just pretty much on a double dot arrow standpoint because these signals they tend to go off just kind of based on price action. So you'll kind of hear an alert signal, and it may not be your trading time. So as I mentioned in the chat, you will want to wait for trading times. As far as London, you will want to wait for the 150 430 time frame. And again, guys, write these times down. But I'm also going to have this in our free course, so I'm going to give a course overview as well. So obviously this week we're just going to do a live study representation of ROI. Pretty much, but I'm also going to give like a full course before we like fully launch like the software for everybody. So just that much more clarity that we can have, going forth in the year. So obviously write these times down. London session, you'll want to stay between the hours of 150 and 430. Primarily, I go 2 to 4, and this is AM. This is nighttime. This is the London session. So you'll want to trade between the hours of like 150, 430, but I primarily do 2 to 4. And what I mean by that is you can hear an alert go off sometime maybe at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., like an Asian session, and that's not necessarily an indication, to sell the market. Because like I said, price, these alerts go off, they pretty much signal based off price, and price obviously fluctuates all day. So obviously if alarm goes off outside of that trading window, is no need to pay attention to that. And what I want everybody to be aware of is you don't have to be glued to your charts all day. You don't have to do that. Like I say, during my trading years, I just kind of developed some knowledge that I definitely want to pass to you guys, and that way you don't make, certain mistakes. So obviously you don't have to be in front of your charts all day. So again, London. Let me type this here. London 150 for 430. We'll just say 430. But again, I'm primarily going to charts at from 2 to 4. But sometimes moves can play out earlier. Like I said, sometimes the market can move at 1 o'clock. But with us trading the US30, we kind of look for our moves in the New York session. New York session is our time to shine. So you want to be on your chart at 8, definitely before 8, but obviously the market opens at 8. But you want to be, looking at the charts, like I say, around 7:40, 7:50, and this is in the morning when people are getting up and going to work. So as I mentioned, from 8 to 10:30 is a good window. But as we've seen here recently, US30 has tended to go later. I don't know if you guys, we can actually scroll back here in the chart. And if anybody wants to we can save questions for the end. So if you have questions, just kind of wait to the end there. So again, New York session, you want to wait to 8, 10:30. 10:30, if I can find the 3. 10:30 or later, because like I mentioned, US30 has pretty much drawed out its movements to later times, which is cool because that's why we have ROI, and it obviously is 24/7, and it gives the alerts as the market moves with price. So I'm just going to close this screen out here, and that way we'll just kind of use the 30 minutes. So again, we have a 30-minute chart here on this side here. This is a 30-minute US chart. On this right side, we have a 15-minute US30 chart. So we're going to actually have both of these working in unison. And it's very important to obviously use both of these charts and correlate them together. I use them together because if you just sometimes go off maybe a 15-minute chart, you may not have, let's take this for example. So we'll take this low. If you take this low here, this is that same low pretty much that occurred on this same day on the US30. So I primarily look for double dots to occur on the same day. It gives it it's more probable for that trade to go in the direction of its given buy trend or the given sell trend. So it's very important to pay attention to that. So if you notice here yesterday, if you see here yesterday on the US30, it gave a single dot. It gave a single dot. Obviously, with it being a higher time frame, it gave a single dot. So as you can see, that same dot on a 15-minute, it gave a double dot. So either way it goes, if you have dots pretty much at the low of the day, it's very powerful. Obviously, if you have double dots at the low of a day. So as you can see here, double dot here, same double dot, definitely a more powerful trade. But nonetheless, this single dot on the US30 time frame acts as a point of re-entry. This is just a means of re-entering the market. So once the market traded down here yesterday, it left an indication of this being the low of the day, which is crazy. I had one of my friends talk to me like, Don, with this platform showing the high and low of the day, that's some powerful stuff. So if the market is giving us a high and low of the day every day, it's very important for us to exercise patience, which is easy because obviously it's going to give us the extremes of the market. So we're going to wait for extremes of the market. So pretty much, let's go to this 15-minute time frame. So obviously you can see this double dot came last night. Well, no, this was like in early today. This was like earlier today, like between like 7 and 8 when this high occurred. And this was that move down that happened today in the US30. But as you can see, the market traded up, left a double dot there, and you can see price just left that area. Price left that area. Now you can obviously see it's a pretty good amount of pips in here. So for the more advanced traders like Antoine, for some of our advanced members, like Latifa, they can possibly spot this and get in maybe closer up to the double dot. Myself, I'm pretty good at picking the double dot entries just based on me being with ROI from last year and just studying. But nonetheless, these double dots also fluctuate as well. So this double dot could have started here. It could have started here. And that's why I want everybody to see it so you can see it for yourself. Like this double dot just won't appear once the market trades up. This double dot will actually start somewhere in here. So it's very important to not just go in at a double dot. It's very important to not go in at a double dot. You want to go in after price has left your double dot and your arrow occurs for the given trend for that day. So it's very important, guys, I can't really stress that part of it enough. Like this is me telling you guys from what I did. Like I would chase the double dot and I would buy in somewhere here, and the market still has to go up and leave a double dot for this high of the day. So let price trade away from that area, and it's okay if price runs away. It's okay because, like I said, we're playing it safe here. Obviously, the goal of ROI is to protect capital. Like I wanted this to like give traders the ability to see the extremes of the market and to know where to get in close to these extremes of the high and low today. So that's primarily what ROI is for. So use it, to your benefit. So like I mentioned, it's important to have, patience. Wait for your arrow to occur. Fatima, you just joining us, starting your trader journey. It'll be easy for you to identify highs and low of the days once they are created and once price, leave these areas. So once it left, it came back, gave you a sell side signal here. So let's take a look at where this entry occurred right here on this candle. So we're going to put a horizontal line there at the bottom. We're going to put a horizontal line here at the top of this candle. So everybody primarily focus on here where my cursor is. So as you can see, this arrow was where you should have entered, like I say, right here on this sale for today. So price on this candle comes up. Price comes up, gives a slight retracement back up closer near the high of this candle where the arrow occurred. So it's also important too, ladies and gentlemen, to just take into context of just the foreign exchange market itself. So obviously once the arrow obviously is signaled off, price kind of comes up. So if you don't necessarily want to rush in the trade and get a better position, it's definitely possible to wait and get it somewhere closer to this wick. I'm gonna zoom in if you guys having a little trouble seeing that. So yeah, this arrow came here for our sell signal. And look at this green candle went way back up near the high of the candle where the entry occurred. So it's obviously, good to, wait a little bit. But nonetheless, if you just want to be in the move, you have these wicks here. You have a smaller wick there. You have a wick here. And price just runs through. It runs through on this candle. Consolidates for a bit. Maybe about an hour, 45 minutes. And gives us a long candle to the downside. So I'm going to zoom back out on that. So that was just kind of brief overview of the 15-minute. Let me get this straighten back out. So let's take a look at the fifth. Let's take a look at this left side. We're just gonna kind of go through price here from the last couple of days, and I just want you guys to just follow me with the dots and follow me just pretty much on the extremes of the days. What happens at these extremes of a low? What happens at the extremes of a high? And pretty much how price goes from these given areas. Let me check the chat really quick. Everybody with me? Everybody still can hear me pretty good? Ones if you can hear me. Hello? Okay, got it. Just want to make sure everybody's hearing me kind of clearly. All right, got it. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Latifah. So yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So let's go back a couple days, and I'm just gonna match the days up. So with obviously the US30 being a smaller time frame, I'm just gonna kind of zoom out. You're not gonna necessarily see a clear depiction of it on the 15-minute, because I just want to scroll out so everybody can just kind of see how everything matches up. Just with price and the extremes that we have on the highs and lows of the days. All right, let's go. Let's take it 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go 5 days back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just gonna scroll back a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just start with this day here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. All right. And like I mentioned, price with US30 did tend to go after 10 o'clock, 10:30. This was a perfect day. I remember this day last week, towards I forgot what day exactly. This was January the 5th. Looks like January the 5th here. So price pretty much held off up until late 1, 2 o'clock. Looks like up in this area. But nonetheless, our window for New York session is 8 to 10:30. But be aware it could be later. So of course, patience is a virtue. So we'll take a look at this high. And I just want everybody just to kind of see just the bigger picture of things. I want you to primarily pay attention to the bigger picture of what's on the 15-minute chart, more so than what's on the 30-minute chart. So let's start obviously up here at this high. We have this, I'll zoom in on this high. Okay, great. So the market trades up later, late closer to the close of the day. So price ran up, obviously left us a double dot here. Now I want you guys to pay attention. Price didn't necessarily run away like how we showed in our example here on the 15-minute chart. But nonetheless, price gave us a high of the day double dot on this 30-minute time frame, as well as this 15-minute time frame. So again, ladies and gentlemen, important to correlate both. Correlate both, because not all the time here you will see dots for entries. This was like an extreme high of the week. Whoa, what is this? This is, give me 1 second, you all. We'll keep going. So yeah, this was pretty much a high extreme of like the week. So it didn't necessarily give dots in between during price, as it progressed throughout the week. This was like an extreme high. So it left a single dot there, double dot, and another double dot didn't show until price got all the way down here. This is because this is a higher time frame. Higher time frame gives double dots more at extreme levels, and they give single dots. That's why we correlate both with the 15-minute level to give entries. So you can see the 15-minute gives entries at extremes of days. You have a high here. So this same high here was this same day here. Nothing was given on the 30-minute chart. Why? Because this extreme high of the week took precedence over everything, with it being on a 30-minute time frame. But nonetheless, with it being a downtrend, 15-minute time frame here on the right gives us entries. It gives us entries both at intermediate lows of the days that obviously are broken here because we're in a downtrend, and obviously it gives us our entry for high of the days. So it's very important to look at both, ladies and gentlemen. So if we go to this day, you can see it gave a single dot. Okay, so now we have a single dot, but as we are in the downtrend, that same single dot here is the double dot on the 15-minute time frame. Gives us our high of the day on the 15-minute, gives us a single dot high of the day on the 30-minute. So that's pretty much the ins and outs and the mechanics of ROI. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, primarily is patience. We all want to trade, and again, I'm not suggesting anybody to trade. This is just a period of us just looking at it together and seeing how price works with the dots and the arrows. But again, somebody's going to trade, and I can't help you with that. I'm not going to really answer questions at all. If you trade using this week, it's up to your own discretion. And again, that's on you. But again, this is a study period. You'll want to crawl before you walk. Once we learn the mechanics, and once I give the course for it, things are going to play into part as we see it live this week. And I'm also going to give PDFs for people just to read over throughout the day. But we're primarily paying attention to double dots in correlation with single dots on both time frames. So let me get this caught back up. So on the left, we have obviously our 30-minute. On the right, we have our 15-minute. And I'm going to let this play out through the rest of the week, so that way we all can have access to it, especially in the morning. And one more thing I do want to point out is obviously our software here with the stop loss and the take profits that are given. So those who don't know how to enter or exit trades, obviously the parameters are given, and these do move with price. So it's very important to catch this at an extreme low of the day, because these will move as price progresses with your trade. And that's pretty much everything that I want to just kind of cover briefly. Again, we have a PDF with this, and I'm giving a full course on this. And there's no rush, ladies and gentlemen. It's January. 2022 just got here. We got all year. But of course, we want to get it as fast as we can and make money and grow the equity as fast as can. So I'm going to open up the floor for anyone who got any questions. I thank you guys all for being here. Jasmine White, welcome. I need you, Jazz. I'm going to call you as soon as we get off of here. But Jan, let me know something. Dre, I know you want to get on oil at some point, but what questions, Dre, you got on the US30? Latifah, anybody questions? Unmute yourself as well if you want to speak out. Ruben, Ali, Fatima, anybody. Miss Andrea, anybody got a question? Like I said, if you got a question, unmute your mic. Just kind of unmute it. and we'll kind of go from there. Anybody got any questions?
Hey, Don. Hey, Don.
Hey, this Latifah.
I don't have a question. Yeah, it's Latifah. It's your distant cousin.
I know, man. We're gonna have to chat it up, man.
So I know this is so wild, but I really appreciate and am proud of you for what you've got here.
Thank you.
These highs and lows of the day are going to be, I mean, really, really beneficial to someone like me. I trade currently on the 5 and 1 minute charts, US30. So I think coupling this with that for, really, really precise entries, I try to have stop losses that are like between 20 to 25 pips max. So I use the smaller time frames for entries, but I think this is good because to know where the high and the low is really what you need.
Yeah, definitely, and especially with it being with indices, US30, or just simply just pairs in general, it gives you definitely a stronger bias for the trade, and where to have your entry at. So yeah, I appreciate it. Any questions from anybody else? Dre, Fatima, excuse me, Fatma. I'm sorry to mispronounce there.
I do have one question. Just based on other signal services, the double dots, arrows, they come at the close of the candle?
Yeah, they come at the close. Primarily, basically, they'll end on like a wick, like here. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me delete some of this stuff. But yeah, so they'll end like on a wick. Basically there. Let me just kind of, let me do a big 15 minute. Let me scroll back. So yeah, just primarily at, sometimes they'll be on the bodies here, but primarily, wicks at the low or a high of the day. So right here, they kind of left wicks. And also, ladies and gentlemen, the US30 is a momentum pair. This is a momentum pair. I'm also gonna post some seasonal tendencies on the price movements for certain months. So obviously January looks to be like we're going into a bearish month. February will be a bearish month as well. March is a consolidation month for US30. But I give these tendencies in the chat, and I also put these in the course. And I just kind of just scroll back to kind of well, let me just put it on. I'm gonna put it actually on a daily chart so you guys can see just how the momentum what US30 is, primarily in a buy trend. So you definitely want to buy US30 on the latter times of the year, like September. If you put a buy in like on a September month, let me find September somewhere. So this was September. It made a low pretty much at the end of September. Kind of dipped down a little bit below it, but price just flies. It flies. So US30 is a momentum pair, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, this is one of those pairs that jobs use for 401ks. So they use this for people's 401ks. Indexes like the SP500. So as you can see, the US30 is a bullishly momentum pair. Obviously, when downside momentum does occur, it is drastic. This was the COVID. This is like that pandemic sale. But as you can see, the market rushed down and pretty much ran up. So US30 is a momentum pair. Any other questions? If not, I'm just gonna leave this up and put it back in this 15-minute time frame so we can just have both of them. Again, we can take a look at this tonight in London. I'm gonna use it for obviously the New York session, and I'll put some notes in the in our Telegram as well if anybody has any questions. So yeah, left side US30, ladies and gentlemen. Right side 15-minute. So if that's all the questions, I'm just gonna leave this running. Whoa, what's this? But yeah, I thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for coming, and let's stay on this thing. I'm gonna give a course and also a PDF later. So thank you guys again. Any other questions? No.
Yeah, this Lee have one question.
What's up, Lee?
So these are the best time frames to use ROI?
Yeah, I gave them in the chat, and I'm also put them in the Telegram as well.